Hello, everybody. It's May 22nd, 2020. Got a TTM back, celebrity this time. All we got as far as TTM, I did also get some TTM fuel from Sport Lots. I got these 4 cards for $222 delivered. Thought that was a good price. There's 2 Dan Fouts here. 79 record breaker, which I believe was most yardage passed, in a season. Super action. Love that. In action card. Ed Too Tall Jones on the tops, and then an action pack, which is going to look really awesome. So, all football. I know. What are we doing here? So, celebrity return. I'm going to leave the return address shown because I got this address from YouTube. I can share it without violating the terms of service of sportscollectors.net, which is usually why I don't share addresses. I don't want to get booted from the website. So before we get into this, I just want to leave a disclaimer here. When I send out a celebrity request, it's usually for a very specific purpose, like they were in a certain movie or a show that I really like. And I'm going to customize what I send to that show because that's why I like that person. A lot of people like to just get celebrities just on anything, which is totally fine. That's not a wrong way to do it. But you're going to see some customs probably, unless you took them out, that you're not really going to see anywhere else because I made them just for myself. So you probably know this person from other stuff, but the reason why I wrote to them is because of these specific roles that he was in, even though he had a very large body of work. Mr. Carl Reiner. That's him on the right. That's Dick Van Dyke on the left. And did a little reading up before I sent these out. So Carl Reiner actually created the Dick Van Dyke Show. It had a different name at the time because Dick Van Dyke wasn't cast yet. And he wrote himself as Dick Van Dyke's character as the lead. And he gave it to a producer friend of his, and they said, well, who do we want to get for like Alan Brady, which is the character he ended up playing? And he said, no, you're going to play Alan Brady, and we'll get a better actor for the male lead. And so they ended up with Dick Van Dyke. They changed the name of the show to the Dick Van Dyke Show. And so for any of you that are not familiar with classic television sitcoms, basically, Dick Van Dyke was the writer for a sitcom that this character, Carl Reiner's character, Alan Brady, was the star of. And so it was very sort of meta, where it's a show about a guy writing for a show. And really holds up pretty good compared to most kind of black and white era sitcoms. Certainly better than some, not as well as others, but still a good show and really classic. So that is the Dick Van Dyke custom. What do we have next? Okay, another show I really like a lot. I don't talk about Bob's Burgers, and Carl Reiner did a voice for a character. Henry, season 5, episode 6. And that's him. He was, Bob was having a flashback to when he was a kid, and he started making, his kind of fun burgers that have the little catchy names. And he tried to serve one to one of his dad's customers and didn't go over well because his dad's kind of a grumpy old curmudgeon. And this episode was about them reuniting. Really good, decent episode. Season 5, episode 6. And lastly, the second for the Jerk collection. You might have seen, I'll drop a link right there. Emmett Walsh was on the first one. He's the psycho gunman guy. And Carl Reiner played basically a celebrity that was affected by Navin Johnson's funny nose glasses negatively. Opti-grab rather. And I put a line from here where So Nathan Johnson got rich off of this invention that he didn't even test on prisoners. And it's a very funny line. So real happy to get these back. And 3 for 3 on Mr. Carl Reiner. And that's it. I'm really distracted here because I got this notification on my phone. Yeah. So I got 2 for the Jerk collection now. First, Bob's Burgers. I'm going to start looking for some more stuff to add to that. And they'll probably just be like this, where it's a screen grab from the episode, and I'll drop the nameplate on there. And a little classic TV throwback to Dick Van Dyke. That's it for today.